new members and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. And I'm truly blessed to have each and every one of you with me this evening. We're going to be talking about the XRP short squeeze that is being talked about a lot. I don't know if you've noticed it around social media, but I've noticed that XRP is lined up for the potential of a short squeeze. We'll talk about what needs to happen to confirm.
We're gonna run it down on this one.
Exactly just that. But right now we had a nice close. The daily close ended here at 7 p.m. just now, about a minute ago. XRP closed well over 56 cents, over the 56.2 level. So we'll take a look at the next resistance, which, as we know, if you've been around, and I'll go over the charts once we get through this intro and what I want to go over. But we'll get into the charts to verify what I'm saying here. But excuse me. Currently what's happened is XRP is currently broken out of the first tier right now. So we had a descending triangle that started in January of 2024. That resistance line right now, we needed to get over 552 and hold. After we got over, we failed. Then when we came back around, now we needed to stay over 548. Well, we had to close well over that. So now we're pushing up today. Now our next resistance line sits right around the 59.2 cent mark, which it extends back to the July of 2023 formation. So now we've broken out of the tier 1 area. Now, if we want to break out of this area and start pushing the rising channel resistance of 2022 up at 66.6 cents, we need to get out of the 592 resistance. So we'll take a look at what we need to do. As you'll see in the technical analysis as well, I'll show you the overall formation that dates back to the all-time highs, which started in January of 2018, depending on exchange. It varies on the price, but I say 350. So it went from 350 all the way down in a 27-month decline until it finally found its floor after hitting all-time highs on January of 2018 at 350. It took until just over 10 cents. So now you had a range between 350 and 10 cents and a range of 27 months as well, from 2018 in January until March of 2020 before you got the uptrending support that now was validated. Then you had the mini bear market rally, which still left many holding XRP from the prior cycle down 40 to 45%. So that's not a bull market to me. That was just a bear market rally. Got rejected, validated that formation that we're in right now. Came all the way back down in 22, hit around 28.6, hit it again in 23, right around 30 cent area, just about 30 cents. And continued to validate this uptrending support. I believe it might have even hit it again at 33, 34 cents one time. So it's validated this pattern. So now we're converging. This pattern going back to all-time highs, and when we converged in March of 2020, this pattern comes to a culmination at most. If there is not a breakout and it plays true, it can only run until December of this year. So for 3 years, we've been talking about, oh, this pattern can go to December of 24. Not anymore, because now, or for 2 years, I should say, now the pattern is culminating. We're on a converging triangle, as I like to call it, at the back end. And now it's going to have a volatile spike. If it breaks out before Easter, or around Easter, no. If it breaks out around Mother's Day, you would have a technical target. If you broke this long consolidation of over 6 years now, you'd have a technical move around $1.97, $1.98, which is significant because that would be basically a double top. Or not even a double top, but that would be retesting the old 2021 bear market rally, which is significant because if you pass that and held, that would be your stepping stone to try to make a push finally to all-time highs. And if Bitcoin does continue to rally, we'll see how speculation goes here. And I have something to talk about with Bitcoin as well, how $1 billion left Bitcoin, and it managed to stay steady. These are oftentimes a bullish scenario when large amounts of money can be pulled. Simultaneously, the price continues to not come to a loss. So we'll go over that as well. I have to pull that article back up, but I think it's fascinating. We get to talk about today how HBAR was up 30% at one point over the last 24 hours. Now it's flipped, but it was up almost 30%. And if you're with me, I would love to see in the comments, if you participated in FOMO Fridays or Winning Wednesdays, you are well over 100% now on your HBAR purchase. We did $50 a week. It took us, I think, 10 to 11 weeks. We got it anywhere between 5.2 cents all the way down to 4.2 cents and a slightly bit at like 5.4 when it came all the way back through to finish up our buys. So I say our average is 5.2. We know it's probably under 5 cents, but we're over 100% even at 5.2, well over 100%. So just understand how we were doing that. There was a reason why I was trying to teach that, preach that you don't have to buy it all at once, and you can do as little as $50 a week and be able to build a portfolio as long as you're in the accumulation phase. We not only did that, we're going to look at ALGO today, and we're going to look at the Great Falling's updated charts here as well, as he has HBARs, updated cup and handle, and ALGOs. So we'll look at his charts along with mine as well. As you know, I didn't put the cup and handles in either of those because he did such a beautiful job that I'd like to keep using his information. He actually sent me an updated one today, so hopefully he's in the comments, and we'll be able to go through that. ALGO we'll talk about today, as I think it's on the cusp of just as big of a move likely as HBAR has already had. So we're so entrenched in this. We've already 100%ed our portfolio in ALGO, which is crazy. We bought 7,800 tokens we were able to do. We did anywhere between $75 and $100 a week for as many weeks as we could when that became the rotation. And while it was under 10 cents, we kept buying. And we ended up getting 7,800 tokens. And now we have 100% on there. So we're waiting for XRP to short squeeze. And we'll go over a lot of reasons why. So let me do the intro. Then I'll get through the comments. I have my phone out because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comments. If you are watching, please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this live and we can get all this information out there, because there is so much to talk about. We'll look at the Bitcoin dominance, because once Bitcoin dominance rolls over, I'm pretty sure alt season is going to start in a big way. And if we do this properly, it's not about 100%. You could be talking 5 to 10x on a lot of your favorite cryptos. Would XRP be one of them with the lawsuit still going on? You don't know. But it's not just XRP we hold, but we're waiting for an XRP short squeeze. There's no doubt about it. And I think it's pretty imminent here. As long as XRP didn't give way at certain support levels, and it looks to be holding up rather well here. So I do appreciate if you did hit that like button for the YouTube recommendation. So good evening, 7:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, February 19th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. And I'll turn the comments out in front of me once I read through. What? Oh man, there's a lot of comments. Light Switch, good evening, my friend. Good evening, Tom. Hopefully you're doing well, and thank you for being in Tom's Army in month 1. That's the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, and I thank Amber for making that some years ago. But that is so true, folks, and that's for supporting me. I appreciate that greatly, Light Switch Tom, for being in month 1. Sav DK, welcome, and XRP to the moon. Matt Holden, thank you for being in Tom's Army for at least 5 months with the XRP Meteor. Really appreciate you paying it forward like that. Hamza, welcome in. Glad to see you back in here, buddy. Kiana, good evening, and welcome in from New Zealand. Boots McSpar, welcome in from England. Let's see. Excuse me. Corey, good evening. Matt Holden. Oh, I already said hello to you, my friend. Love seeing everybody talking, chatting. JM, good evening, and thank you for being in Tom's Army in month 1 as well. That's the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, so I certainly can see that. Hey, I said if we didn't see 3 red days through the weekend, I would apologize, so I apologize. I think we are heading for a trap, though. Watch for the full moon effect coming this weekend. Marco, we'll watch it day by day, but you don't need to apologize. You were just stating what you thought was going to happen. I appreciate you tuning back in. Trading with J-Ride, welcoming along with Crypto Scrooge, both in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the 589 emoji badge. I greatly appreciate that. Juan, welcome in. Albert, good evening, brother, from Phoenix, Arizona. I greatly appreciate that. Sully Mode, good evening. James Montgomery, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for at least 5 months with the XRP Predictor. Hope you're having a great day. What do you think about the court information coming out tomorrow? Do you see an increase or a pump? And then a pullback. The way it's setting up on the charts, it looks like you'd have an initial breakout. So I think there would be a lot of, eager people to make some trades here. So, but we'll see how it goes. We'll look at that tonight in this technical analysis and go through some of the news and notes and things like that. CJ2 Pilot, welcome in. I appreciate you being in Tom's Army for over 5 months with that XRP Meteor. Albert, good evening, and Intel is spot on. I appreciate that. White Lotus, welcome in. Good to see you still well a part of this community. Jeff Rogan, welcome in. I think I said thank you, Harvey Boy, for being in Tom's Army for month one, as that is the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Brave Sigma, welcome in. The Great Falling, I'm glad to see you in here because we will go over your charts in just a bit. Nate Bell, good evening. How crazy is the manipulation on XDC? Everything. Hey, this is a good thing for XDC. XDC is getting ready. If you think XRP is going to move, you could get an even greater move on XDC, but that always moves for whatever reason after some of the market starts moving when it's in rotation. So you want it to be opposite. So a lot of money, the money will flow out of certain assets and flow into XDC after the major rally. And then you get the back end, and that's exactly what we're waiting for XDC. And for transparency, I have 27,700 XDC, just under 3 cents. So that's how it is there. Ramming Speed, good evening. XRP Future Millionaire is my arch nemesis, but if XRP poo bumped, we could possibly become frenemies. Hey, I appreciate that. I'll take that. Stanley, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the 589 badge. Says he loaded more of XDC. I think XDC is in a beautiful position right now. Jay Slade Da Vinci, welcome in. Boots McSpaz, Ed, Jacob, welcome in. Kibi Beats, welcome in, and thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for over a year with the I Told You So badge, along with Tanya Love, welcome in as well. And Tanya, I know you're very happy because HBAR is now netted us a 1x profit, as it was up over 30% at one point over the last 24 hours. So it's a beautiful thing to see, and thank you, Tanya, for getting our community into that and forcing and keeping me on point with that. Shada, welcome in. Took a long, then panicked when I seen your video title short squeeze on Margex, walked away with 300 XRP. No, you shouldn't be panicking. What are you panicking about? This is a rotation. This is a rotation. You can't base it off of a title. See the information. Simon, welcome in. Jeff, Michael, Messi, Laganakil, Czam, chat, welcome in. John Hall, good to see you, my friend. Finally caught up here now. JM, thank you. And he's in month ones of Tom's Army, but he's got 98,000 XDC. Said excellent. Czam, HBAR is definitely on a rip today. So I like to say hello to everybody. I went through all of that. I think 60 people hitting the like button out of 115 is not due justice. I'd appreciate if you hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this video. We can certainly make a dent today with the amount of people watching so quickly. We could make a huge momentous boost for this community and allow it to grow. But I need your help by hitting that like button. I do use an exorbitant amount of my time to be here, so if you could hit that like button so YouTube will recommend my video and we can make the most of our time together and expanding this great audience. So what we're looking at right now, and if you haven't hit the like button so far, I'm going to go over a quick adaptation in the next 5 minutes of the XRP charts from right now through the last couple years that all the way converged from 6 years ago. And if that doesn't get a like, well, we'll try again even more in the next phase. So XRP, it's flat right now at 56.26 cents. Right now we're breaking out of the descending triangle, which is very important. We back tested after having a golden cross. Let me make sure I put it on the 4 hourly. We had a golden cross in the 4 hourly, which is the exponential moving averages. And it doesn't matter if you use the 20-day 50, 100, and 200 or the 50, 100, 200. You've got a golden cross in both senses. So right now we're bouncing off the 20-day. And if we continue to play this up, and this plays true that we have in fact broke out of the descending triangle, our next layer, it's really simple. If you follow this, the next layer up, this formation started in July of 2023. So if we start looking at this, and I have the downtrending resistance up here, you can see below it. I don't know why it deleted the underneath support, but I put it at the back end there too. But you can take this out from here and look at the totality of the pattern if you want to see like a little depiction there. But the back end's the important part. This resistance that we're going to come up to right now would be right up here about, as we talked about in the open, around the 594 level. I like it a little bit over 5931 just because it's the overwhelming resistance above. What is this? It changed my background. Hold on. I knew that video was coming to an end. What I like to use, but it changed. There we go. So, change my background. So, Let's see. So we're looking at 59.4 cents. So we've got through the formation from January of 2024 from the start of this year, which was the first chart I showed you right here. And I've got so many different charts. And if we get above where we're at now, the July of 2023 formation that we're trying to get above at the 59.4 cents, then you run into this rising channel resistance that started in June of 2022. The only reason why we have the other chart in between is because that's a major pivot level. And until we break that formation, it's been long standing, and we're getting, 7-8 months deep on this rotation now. So we need to get above this. And if we get above 594, then we can get out of this area. We get out of this area and then it opens up. Well, you get above the rising channel resistance, then is when it gets interesting. Because if you can get past the June of 2022 resistance, which is going to be tough, and that's where a short squeeze could lead you up to into that range, because you've got a lot of built up pressure with leverage short or leverage longs right now, and the institutions were going long. So expect them to get their money before a dump would occur. Even if a dump occurs, here's what can happen. And some people will be like, oh, the short squeeze never happened. And I don't anticipate this to happen. But imagine something like this happened and we gathered some steam. A lot of people would not see the next move coming. And it could just build a wider base. Now, I'm anticipating it to hold this and then try to rotate out. Even if that means it comes back and tries to retest, I'm anticipating a big move here. If it doesn't happen now, we could build up pressure. And yeah, it would be devastating for some. But there is a lot of money on the table right now, not just for retail. What I'm going to show you, some of the stuff is retail's exiting as the whales are buying. Like retail is the money leaving while the institutions are picking this up at much higher cost or much higher amounts. Not talking about like dollar costing in, I'm talking about the amount spent. As some of us are letting go, $5, $10, $15,000 worth of XRP, selling it, you've got institutions buying $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 or $1 to $2, $3, $4, $5 million at a time. So there's a caveat here. Hold on, I gotta grab my water. I thought I had it, but I guess I never grabbed it. Oh, here it is. I was gonna say I thought I brought it. So that's the dynamic going on right now. So this is this formation that could lead you if you continue to push out. And then we break the June of 2000 or the July of 2023 formation that I just showed, just so you remember right here. If we break that formation, this resistance, then we open up the door to a formation that's been going on for almost 2 years. And this is a major resistance. If we got past the 66.6 cent level, that is how you get to the all-time formation to where now you're back to trying to get to that downtrending resistance. Until you get past these mid-tier resistance, these can all be stop gates that could send you going down in a very fast, momentous way. So yes, a short squeeze is definitely out there, the possibility. And it may be more than a possibility at this point as we're getting some key indicators that are flashing to the very bullish side right now. But we've got to make sure that these aren't false signals. And that's why I show you the levels in between. I want you to build up, and then I want your understanding to eventually be, okay, now that we got the short term, now we can build out into the long term. So instead of just going right for we got to go to the all-time pattern, sometimes it's good to see the yearly, then the extended out for the 2-year, then extended out, or even the shorter term. But now that you have a basic understanding, we can start talking real numbers. If we look at this now, we had all the way back here on this chart. On this one, it's $3.31 on Bitstamp. All of them are different. This is where we hit January 2018 in the open. We talked about it. That's all-time highs. It took us about 27 months to come down here and finally start this uptrending support. And I'll show it like this. This is where the uptrending support started. March of 2020, somewhere around 10 cents when you get to the bottom of that wick. So now we got the downtrending resistance started, or the resistance line formed at $3.50, let's just say on this chart, $3.31. Uptrending support formed around 11 or 10 or 11 cents. Then we come all the way back up here to the great rally when we all got to know each other, at least the 1,500 subscribers at the time. We had all bought in together, 47-cent average, got about 7,800 XRP, got a few others like DGB, XLM, tiny bit of some others like VeChain and Zill. But then we turned around and were able to sell it in just a few short months at $1.66 after we got rejected, went down, and then I seen that it was over at $1.70. And on the way down at $1.66, I said it's time to make a hard decision. You know, so that's when we did that. Managed to hold the uptrend again in 22 and 23, which we finally bought back in at 346 as a unit. And it's paid dividends so far as we're watching this rotate. We hit it here in 22, came back down and tried to break it again. Could not do it here in 23. And now we're on our way. Now we have not hit that downtrending resistance a third time. That is the one caveat. Like, we have not done that. So even if this is bearish, I could see a short squeeze coming up to 75 cents. And then even if it's bearish, the pattern just gets rejected. Now, if it breaks through that convergence that you've had over 6 years, that builds up pressure. And that pressure right now is built for a move to $1.97 at minimum, is what you would be anticipating. As long as the move played true, there was no fake out, no nonsense. So that's what we're looking at. That's definitely what we're looking at here. And then if it does that, and let's just say you broke over $1.97, use that as support, that would be your catalyst to all-time highs to at least retest those areas. But we're going to have a very explosive move at some point here. And each day that passes by is one day closer to our end goal. And right now it does appear, with where some of the smart money is right now, that we could be looking at a short squeeze here in the very near future. Only 87 likes. I mean, for the information I'm giving you, I really would appreciate you to hit that like button. If you don't want to hit that like button, you could join these amazing members in Tom's Army that pay it forward each and every day. Or consider sending one YouTube Super Chat per month to show your support for the exorbitant amount of time I put in. But at the very least, if you do appreciate what I do, you understand the amount of work, and you understand what it takes out of me each and every day to do as many updates and to do a live 7 days a week, along with 5 to 6 updates a day, or 4 updates depending how it goes. Make sure you hit that like button to help me push through the YouTube recommendations, or allow YouTube to recommend this live. It really does go a long ways, and I do put it all out there for each and every one of you. Like per uphold, if I give them a maxed out $10,000 today, the purchase price for XRP is up to 3 to... Yeah, I don't know. I would have to think about that for a second, reread that. But anyhow, XRP, we're looking for this short-term move. That's the bottom line. We're looking for this short-term move. We're looking to make sure we can validate this and not lose this support area. If for some reason it did fall through here, we have the pivot point at 53.4 cents that we would need to hold. But we really want to hold this formation. Even if we get a consolidation, we would like to do this. I'll read that in a sec. So that's what I'm looking at right now very closely for XRP. I'll allow some to hit that like button if they would like. But we're going to look at the Great Fallings chart here very quickly. So the Great Falling here is showing HBAR. This was his cup and handle that he had formed before and we talked about. Now, if we continue the entirety of this move, we've already got above that 0.1013. He's showing this as moving up to 16.3 cents on the top side of this on a successful handle. And it looks like it's done everything it needs to do for this handle. We can see the pressures building back up. We're looking at a very nice range here. So be very aware of uphold. I mean, to your opinion, I could say be wary of a lot. I mean, I can't tell your own personal but it's, yeah, the fees are higher, but there's a reason for that. You guys will have to look deeper. So yeah, that's his chart with HBAR, and I think it's spot on. If we go to HBAR and the Great Falling, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. HBAR is down 1.92% after the flip, which is expected at an exorbitant move. I had it targeted after this breakout in this area up at over 11, just about 11 cents. So now we'll see how that pivot area holds. We broke out of a channel that we were in for some time, and then we even got over the top trending area of resistance that had been there for some length of time that had hit the first time around and couldn't manage to push through it. Now, if we look at the grand scope, we've got a lot of room here. We have the smaller tier levels, but we're talking all the way up here. I mean, that 16 cent level is not far out the way. If at some point we do hold that 11 cent, we have not given it away. If we do break that 11 cents and continue moving on, I see no reason why that cup and handle. Now, I haven't drawn the cup and handle in because there's no point, because he sent me his chart. So I just kind of took it out because I don't want to cloud this. And I think it looks better like this because we can see the intermediate levels along with his chart as well. And it really does give a good adaptation of where we're going. And I mean, let's face it. We bought that consolidation phase around the 5-2 and down. And it's pretty crazy to see it over 11 cents, or right around 11 cents. Well, depending on when you look at it, 11 cents. Algo, while we're on it, is at 20.20 cents. Algo, that was our old area, but we can, I want to update a little bit with Algo. Not really update because we're still waiting for it to come up to those upper areas, which this has been an area that we bought in. This was our range on this down channel. It was a little bit of a channel it was in. And we said we would buy it until it broke up over 10 cents because it was going to be a quick move up. And we're starting to look at these pushes now. I mean, 29, 30 cents. I see that as right around the corner. And I know, again, what the Great Falling sent me with Algo, I don't even have to do, I mean, I don't even have to show anything deeper with this. Algo, let's see. Whoops. I don't have to show it any deeper because he's got this perfectly presented. But you can see with Algo, the first line in the sand right now is 25.16 cents on his chart. And that would be all the way back up. It would successfully build that handle. But if you build that cup and handle, I mean, there's a huge move to be made. That was such a ridiculous fall that Algo took. Remember, Algo was well over $2.50. There's a lot of movement to be had here in this market. Make no doubt about it. So just pay attention to Algo. I just wanted to show that. And thank you to the Great Falling for sending that. I wanted to at least acknowledge that. But I'm still waiting for this move to finish up. Just like he put this handle. And I could keep this drawn in, but then it makes it, there's just too much stuff here. I mean, we can draw it in like this. We can even put it how it has formed. I mean, it's formed it perfectly. Came up out of it. Now, I'm expecting it to rotate up. Even if it were to come back, maybe back test, I'm expecting in the near future to see it up there. Like he said, he's got 25 point whatever in that area somewhere. 27, maybe it makes a run up to 30. I think it's, I think we're in that area, but his chart's beautiful, so there's no reason for me to have the same thing on there. So I told everybody I'm just going to use his for the cup and handle, and then we'll look at the resistance levels in between and get to where we need to go, because I think we're getting there. So a lot of people need to know about the SC versus Ripple lawsuit deadline that's coming up. We'll go over this very quickly. XRP price steadies above 56 cents. I had a deadline in SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. XRP price climbed to 56.27 cents on Monday, yielding 6% gains for holders. SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. Remedies related discovery phase is drawing to an end on February 20th. Ripple whales have consistently accumulated in the past month. Retail investors and small wallet holders shed their XRP holders. So just think about that for a minute. As I kind of touched base on that before. But the whales are buying while the smaller wallets are selling. So what does that tell you? So if retail, in a sense, that's why I keep asking, have you gotten shaken out? Are you getting shaken out? Are you worried about it? Because right now it really does appear that there's an attack on retail. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find something real quick. Oh, here's my jacket. But no, there really does seem like retail is selling while institutions are starting to buy. Especially in this little move here. I'm trying to. But yeah, Gala, we actually bought Gala as a community as well on the Winning Wednesdays and FOMO Fridays. So I agree, Gala is going to be something big as well. That's more when you get to the meme side of things and all that good stuff as well. So, but if you'd like to join me with the relaxation and a little bit of cannabis, I would greatly appreciate it. We're We're going to read through this, but I'm going to go like this real quick, and then we're going to start this. Please make sure to hit that like button. I'll give you a few seconds. I apologize for the delay, but I can't find what I was looking for, so I'll be right back. Okay. The delay is no longer. I have found what I was looking for. It just fell on the floor when I was setting up. So I do appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate everybody who stayed during this live, and I appreciate the 121 likes now. And now we're doing a much better job. Thank you all so much. So consider this, though. Consider what this is saying. Ripple whales have... Look at this. Look at this exact line. Ripple whales... This is basically the money shot, of, so to say, of this whole article, just right here. Ripple whales have consistently accumulated in the past month. Retail investors and small wallet holders shed their XRP holdings. And we'll go back over HBAR again on the charts and stuff like that. But I wanted to at least get through the great falling stuff while I knew he was in the audience. But it's crazy to think that the smaller wallets are selling when... It's common knowledge if you look through the whale alerts, and they're accumulating right now. There's not as much selling going on in the big wallets, which means they're getting ready for a short squeeze, and whether that means they're going to sell it right when it happens, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So XRP price is 55.93 cents on Monday. The great thing is after this article came out, it's back up to the 562 mark as we know it closed over. The altcoin has yielded nearly 6% weekly gains for XRP holders in the past week. The Securities and Exchange Commission SEC lawsuit against Ripple has a key deadline on February 20th, which is tomorrow, and it will enter a new phase with the end of remedies-related discovery, a phase in which there was formal exchange of information. SEC versus Ripple lawsuit will see a formal end of its remedies-related discovery phase on February 20th. The payment remittance firm had requested the court for a one-week extension of the deadline. The initial deadline was February 12th. The presiding judge granted the request to allow Ripple to take additional time to compile the information requested by the SEC regarding post-complaint, post-lawsuit institutional sales of XRP. February 20th marks a key date in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, and XRP holders are in anticipation of the next steps in the legal battle. Typically, post the discovery phase, both sides are either in agreement of strengths and weaknesses of each side and enter settlement talks or summary judgments or proceed to a trial that involves additional expenses and risk. XRP's large wallet holders have consistently added the altcoin to their holdings in the past month. According to data from crypto intelligence tracker Sentiment, small holders and retail investors have shed their XRP holdings in the same time frame as seen in the chart above. And I think this is substantial. I think this is substantial. And I tried to touch on this morning, but I don't know how many people actually seen that part of the update because it was buried so deep into it, this chart. But I figured I'd bring it back in the live. If you're looking at this, we've got... Let me pull this up. So you can see price of XRP. You got wallets of 100,000 to 1 million coins in blue. In red, you've got 1 million to 10 million coins. And in the yellow, you've got 10 millions to 100 million tokens. And then 10,000 to 100,000 coins are in that orange. So you can see a decline in the smaller token holdings, but an increase, a major increase, especially from 10 million to 100 million XRP tokens. Look how high it went. Look at that surge. And then in the red, over here in that darker, slight red that's phasing down, that's 10,000 to 100,000 coins. So that would include me and most everybody else who's watching me are selling out right now as the wallets with 10 million to 100 million are buying. That, to me, that just doesn't make any sense. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. Because most of the time, you're going to want to be on the side of money. It's just the way it goes. Oh, yeah. And they drip the price. Remember that. They drip the price. You better believe it. You know why? Because how are they going to get that many amounts, or how are they going to buy that amount of XRP unless they drip? So basically, they buy, they take the sell off or the buys off for a second. They probably use a trading by advanced algorithm. So they stop buying for a second, allow the retail sellers to sell out, allow that small little dip in the market. And at the amount they're buying it, even a 2, 3, 4% drop, if you're spending millions of dollars is all the difference. Now all of a sudden you're up 4% when you buy in instead of being, even. And they know this. They know how to take advantage. They small amounts at a time to eventually put in their big buy at the right point. I mean, that's exactly what's going on with the trading bots. It's a beautiful thing. So the past week there has been a decline in whale transactions valued at $100,000 and higher, and profit taken by large wallet investors has slowed down. According to the network realized profit loss metric by sentiment, these on-chain metrics paint a bullish picture for XRP price. The altcoin is likely to continue climbing higher in the coming weeks. Technical analysis, XRP price likely to rally 60 cents in the uptrend. XRP price is in an uptrend that started at the end of January 2024. XRP price rallied to a high of 56.27 cents early on Monday, and the asset is likely to continue its climb towards the psychologically important level of 60 cents. XRP prices faces three key resistance in the uptrend at the 50% Fibonacci retracement of the decline from January 2024 high. At 56.29 cents is a 61.8% Fibonacci retracement. At 5812 and the 60 cent level. And then we have the moving average convergence divergence at the MACD indicator shows green bar signaling that there is a positive momentum XRP price uptrend is likely intact according to green bars on the Awesome Oscillator AO. So the indicator also looks like it's set up in a bull flag, and it's had a beautiful consolidation that it had several candles ago. So this looks like we're heating up. Everything's starting to point in the direction of heating up. So a daily candlestick closed below the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level could invalidate the bullish thesis and signal that a sweep of the 0.5446 low is likely before XRP resumes its climb towards 56 cents. Now, we're going to go into Bitcoin real quick as well so we can see exactly what's in store for Bitcoin. But there was something pretty cool, not pretty cool, but we could talk about the FUD of 60K, which could happen. But I wanted to talk about... let's see if we will be able to find it. Otherwise, I'll worry about this later. 1 billion... here we go. So we'll talk about this in just a sec, but nearly 1 billion in Bitcoin disappears after transfer from major U.S. exchange. So that's it was actually good news, not bad news. Some would think that because so much money from the whales is leaving. Yeah, the price might decline, but this could actually be a good sign going forward for alt tokens. But we'll have to look at it from a grand scale of not just Bitcoin, but also the Bitcoin dominant chart to see when and if an alt season is going to start here. I got to let my cat in. My cat's scratching at the window. Come on, Ghost. Here, kitty. Come on, get inside. Yeah, good for you. Too cold to be outside. Sorry about that. We got 101 different things going on at once, you know? I like seeing all the comments or all the people commenting. Remember all the levels we talked about? If it does decide to reverse down, well, we've talked about it. You guys all know the levels below us. I think we went through a good adaptation in the beginning. We know if XRP were to rotate down and end up breaking back within this formation, which this is what we're still trying to confirm that this is in fact a breakout. You can come all the way back down to the 544 level. And it's a perfect retest if it does come down there. And as long as it holds that, you'd still be looking for that same move to 60 cents. But as I've said since the beginning, I'm anticipating some kind of short squeeze here. Looking at where the money's going right now, it would make perfect sense for there to be some kind of rally here. The whales aren't buying in for no reason. And the fact that they're not selling during this rotation up and they're advancing their wallets leads me to believe they're waiting for one big calamity. I don't know if there's going to be a little bit of a short interest tomorrow. And I don't mean by the downside, like going short, but I mean like interest in the short term because of anticipated news that could come tomorrow. Maybe it doesn't come, but you still have a rally leading into it. But that's what it seems like is going on here. We've got a lot of built up pressure here, and eventually, what's that, Julie? I found mine. Thank you. So there, thank you, Julie. But there is short-term pressure being built up. And eventually this is going to culminate. If we look at the actual volume, we haven't got much volume. We have not got much volume here in the dailies to come. We had a nice little, what appears to be more like an inverted hammer, or inverted hammer here. Didn't have much volume though. Only had 16.49 million here on Binance. Now we're going to see how it's followed up today. You had no downward pressure. We have maintained right now over the 200-day, which is important. That's that would confirm a trend reversal here if we could have some closes over that and then start rotating back up. So I'm very eager to see how this plays out in the next 24, 48 hours, because to me, and would it make sense for them to come down first? You know, in my own head, anytime they're about to pump, if they're going to, they always come down first. So would I be surprised if it rallies all the way down here and then everybody comes, you know, we'll have some people in the comments that are, what kind of short squeeze is this? It's to the downside. You know, so don't be surprised if it comes and retests support even before a breakout. It's just we're looking to avoid that. So if you're looking to avoid that, you're looking to continue to hold this 20-day support, especially in the 4-hour time frame. 55.70 would be where you're desperately trying to hold if you're not looking at the back and forth consolidation. Oh, they sure do, crypto scoots. They love the fake out game. They love the fake out game. Oh, the retest would be even better. It builds more pressure as long as you can hold it. Now, you have to remember, if it comes to that kind of shakeout point, always look at the 534 level as well for a quick wick, because that is the pivot point. But what I'm seeing here, this doesn't look bad. It looks like we're trying to work our way back up to retest this formation. And even if we're not trying to retest that formation, it certainly looks like we're trying to see whether or not we're bullish or bearish in this area. And the fact that we came up here, came back and back tested, now we have a golden cross formed. It looks like it's trying and its darndest to come up here. But you look, that 534 pivot point, as this rotates, this is going to, if it hits the uptrending support, this is right at about 534. And this is just this weekend. So that's why you pay attention to that uptrend as well that's formed within here, because it could bounce that pivot point. It's all lining up. If it does have a retest in that area, it'd be 544. And let's not just say 544, because technically I want to make sure it's in that. Yeah, I would stick with 544. It's 5458, but a little bit underneath, you know, just in case it comes down to the 200-day would be appropriate. Just sold my XRP bag for BSV. Truth, all the power to you. I mean, congratulations. Is that if you need me to give you my endorsement, you know, I'm proud of you for doing what you believe in. But I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to tell you whether good or bad or indifferent. April might be XRP ritual. Well, we'll see. XRP ritual, waters above just dropped video on it. I'm still waiting for one of those to come true. But eventually something's going to happen. XRP's down 0.86% right now to, let's see, 55.78 cents. So where exactly do we lead? In the comments, what do you think is going to happen? Let's take a look at Bitcoin to see why we are going where we're going. And if Bitcoin were to have that consolidation, where exactly could we find ourselves? Let's just say Bitcoin were to rotate down. And yes, we are in this broadening wedge formation. But as you see, we created this little ascending uptrend, starting on the bottom of this broadening wedge. And then we got another hit of support down here before the next move. So if it did rotate down, maybe 48,500. Maybe you could see it at 47,200 area. But right now we've got the 49,100 area. We've got just around 51,000 a very strong support as well. So It's going down so you can buy on Thursday. Now I'm rooting for you to be able to do that. That would be nice. I'm hoping you'll get a chance to buy it. I mean, it's Monday today. We'll see how this continues to rotate, but maybe Bitcoin does you a favor. But just remember what we've been saying. Be very careful on the shorts right now, because until the shorts are ready to hit, a lot of people are going to lose their shorts during the shorts. And we've seen a lot of people that keep thinking that Bitcoin is going to rotate down, and it continuously is rotating up after making these corrections. Make sure if you're going short on Bitcoin, that in fact what Bitcoin is doing right now is not making like a bull flag setup here, because we would hate to see you get crushed by this just because Bitcoin consolidates and then it rotates up again. So make sure, if this is the scenario, that this ends up breaking down and then you can get some kind of bounce down or something like that. And just because Bitcoin collapses, that doesn't mean the altcoins are just going to go goodbye. We are also waiting simultaneously on the Bitcoin dominance chart for us to rotate back down and end this. But as you can see, every time it tries to come back into this oversold area, it doesn't like it, and it rotates very quickly back up. One of the interesting things is now it's back into this formation. It had gotten out of it very briefly, although I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Oh yeah, I see what's going on here. It's gotten back in here, but this is supposed to be, there we go. I don't know what happened there. I don't want to keep that there. I want you just to see. That was a support down here. I just moved that on accident. So 52.38% would be if it did rotate and continue down. We're at the 200-day here in the 4-hourly, which that's going to be the interest here is 53%. And if we break through that, this could start to usher in an alt season. If the Bitcoin dominance starts to break down, and let's just say we do have a correction down here to 50.7, that's on the fringe. You break that little formation correction zone, then it could be all, get ready. Because we broke that rising channel, and that was very, very well. It was well defined, and it finally broke it into this little formation. If it breaks down from here, this generally happens when you start to squeeze the pressure, builds that rounding of the top. If it's going to break down, you come into some kind of consolidation, and then it just gives way after an attempt up. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yep. It's good for the oldies, right? When we can all elaborate on the past. I'm not offended by anybody. I like when the chat's having fun. So, Bitcoin now, this is the other thing to take it from it. Does this mean we're going to have a correction here from this? This is my question. And this wouldn't be a bad thing. But nearly $1 billion in Bitcoin disappears after transfer from major U.S. exchange. Has anybody heard about this today? Today witnessed notable activity within the cryptocurrency market, particularly concerning Bitcoin. A substantial sum, approximately $962.15 million, was withdrawn from leading U.S. crypto exchange Coinbase in what can be deemed significant movements in the digital currency realm. Data provided by Whale Alert reveals that a total of 18,484.69 Bitcoin was withdrawn from Coinbase in 2 consecutive transfers. The first transfer saw 9,322 Bitcoin, valued at $485,248 million, move the address. Wait a minute. $485.248 million. Move the address, and you can see it following this, a second transfer of 9,162 Bitcoin worth $476.9 million was initiated to the address. Similar address, but a slightly different. Notably, both addresses are newly established and lack prior transaction history. And then you can see there on Whale Alert, 9,322 Bitcoin valued at $485,247,899 US dollars transferred from Coinbase to unknown new wallet. Despite the substantial withdrawal, Bitcoin's price has continued to incrementally rise. Well, we see we've given back a little bit. We've given up about 900 points since this. But that's what I wanted to show. That's what I wanted to show. So the implications of these These large-scale Bitcoin movements on the cryptocurrency price trajectory remain uncertain. Historically, such withdrawals from exchanges have often been perceived as a bullish signal by the community. However, given the nonce nature of the cryptocurrency market, definitive conclusions are elusive. So, as enthusiasts closely monitor these developments, the complexity surrounding their potential impact on Bitcoin's value are subject to the ongoing analysis. The intrigue surrounding this significant Bitcoin transfer nearing the 1 billion mark underscores the perpetual fascination with the dynamics of the cryptocurrency market. So I think that's interesting that you had such a large withdrawal, and what's the impact of it. So I'd like to know the audience's feelings on that. Do you think that's going to have an impact? Do you think that it has no impact? So, but basically we went around and about in a very fast way. Hopefully some of that has to be stuck. Hopefully some of it helps. So we're watching with XRP right now. I'll go to the most immediate chart right now of what we're looking at. We're looking... I see we got a lot of interesting comments here today as some back and forth in the audience. So, you know, it's one of those days today. Not as much positivity. Not as much positivity. Some positivity. So XRP right now, since we've had the flip of the clock here, pay attention on this daily candle. See in the short term if we do rotate down at all, or if we do push out. If we do rotate down, watch very close to the 547 level. In the immediate terms, unless we rotate down for a couple days, 544 is a major level as well, because that's going to end up running through the 200 day will end up running through there very shortly here with the next 4-hour candle closes. So pay very close attention to that level, especially if this is a rotation candle. And then we come down to support. I'm estimating that somewhere around 544 is where it would drop. So that's where we'd be looking at. And that's a perfect level because you could retest there before an eventual move out. And that's a perfect back test as well. So don't get caught off guard if something like that happens. Not saying it will, but if something like that does, you know, if it does end up like that and then it plays out. But right now, you know, let's just see how this plays out. If it plays to the top side, we're good. If it does end up lining up and it backtests and then bounces out, whatever, 53.4 cents, which is supposed to be up here because it is a pivot point. And I will put it back because I think it's important. I think it's very important when you start to break down and you can see, hey, did we actually break down? Or is this just an overextended wick? If it's an overextended wick, if 534 held and it pushed right back up. But if you got below that, you know, then you could start looking to just come back. And just because you consolidate down, it doesn't mean this formation's over. If you were to consolidate back down, you've got very strong support levels at 51.8 cents, but more importantly around 494. And then if that were to break, even coming down this formation, you could just say, oh, well, we're retesting it. It's not in my best interest for it to come back down there, but you've got strong support. I seen somebody put the 494 order book. That is a very strong support there. The Great Falling said that as well. So it's definitely something to be considered here going forward if we were to rotate down, because I like to show both sides, but I firmly believe we're entrenched in the short term. We're going to have some kind of short squeeze here. We don't know which level. We don't know what day. We don't know exactly where it takes us, but the whales are lining up for something. So I'm interested to see, unless it rotates some, but I want to see what the whales are seeing. I want to see how this eventually does end up playing out. I really do. So, and while I have everybody's attention, let's just read through a little bit more of what perspectives are looking like, or prospects, or whatever. Ripple XRP price reclaims long-term support level. Is a breakout imminent? So the XRP price has increased during the past 2 weeks, closing above a long-term support level it had previously lost. Will this lead to a more significant upward movement, or will XRP continue consolidating like it did in most of 2023? So before we do that, make sure if you're watching, hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this live and we continue to expand this great audience. While I'm still with you this evening, I thank all the members of Tom's Army. If you want to become one of the members of Tom's Army with the emoji badges and show support for the extraordinary amount of time I do put in, consider once a month to send a YouTube super chat or join Tom's Army, as I would greatly appreciate that. We didn't have any donations tonight, but we have a lot of members in Tom's Army that are in chat, and we've had a lot of likes here, which is incredible. And then if you're looking to trade XRP, your favorite crypto, I've seen in the comments a lot, we're talking about the high fees of Uphold. Take advantage right now of MEXC. I have the links in the video description below. There's no spot fees or futures trading fees for leverage, so consider that. And that's until they decide to end it. And then there's PHEMEX, especially for the ones in the UK and Europe and things like that. PHEMEX has your back for those areas. That's also in the video description below, so take advantage of that. BITUNIX for the USA, so just take advantage of that. So the XRP closes above long-term support. The weekly time frame technical analysis shows the XRP price has increased in the past 2 weeks, creating successive bullish weekly candlesticks. Last week's close was especially important since it was made above on ascending support trend line that has existed for 460 days. Before doing so, XRP broke down from the trend line in a horizontal support area. However, the ongoing increase reclaimed them both. So that's a very important level that we reclaimed as well. So I love reading some of the other technicals. The weekly relative strength index, RSI, is not yet bullish despite the upward movement. Traders utilize the RSI as a momentum indicator to access whether a market is overbought or oversold and whether to accumulate or sell an asset. If the RSI reading is above 50 and the trend is upward, bulls still have an advantage. But if the reading is below 50, the opposite is true. While the indicator is moving upward, it has yet to increase above 50 green circle. The daily time frame chart is bullish, suggesting a breakout will occur soon. This is because of the price action and RSI. The price action shows that XRP has increased since bouncing at the support trend line of a descending parallel channel on January 31st. The upward movement took the price above the 55-cent horizontal area, which had acted as resistance. Then the XRP price validated as a support level. During the movement, the daily RSI increased above 50, which is the green circle, legitimizing the price action. If XRP breaks out from the channel, it can increase by 27% and reach the resistance, or the next resistance, at 70 cents. Despite the bullish XRP price prediction, closing below 55 cents can trigger a 16% downward movement to the closest support at 47. And that's the area I was pointing to when I was talking about the breakdown, how if it breaks down there, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but that is a overwhelming support area. It's right around the 47.24 cent mark. So that's a very important level if we were to break down. So a lot to consider. Don't panic one way or the other, ladies and gentlemen, because it's been a long road. And tomorrow there's the next stage in the Ripple versus SEC. So you can see a lot of volatility. We've seen that almost $1 billion in Bitcoin was sold off and put into a new wallet, which means that they were taking profits more than likely. So we'll see exactly how this plays out. But I anticipate a short squeeze here. I can't tell you the exact day. I can't tell you the exact hour. But I can tell you right now, there is a short squeeze coming. And it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of which level it hits. But the more that we consolidate and the more we build pressure, even if we come down to a little lower levels here, like we were talking about with the supports, that just continues to build that pressure even more. But it certainly does appear here that a breakout's pretty imminent here for XRP. The pressure's been building for a very long time. And now it's just a matter of time if you have the patience and tenacity, because it's been a long journey. And like I've said from the beginning, and I'll continue to say it till the end, I did not buy XRP in the cents to sell it at cents. So this is the accumulation phase. Take advantage of it fully. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Be kind to each other. We go from an attitude of love in this community, not hate. We try to preach what's right with the technicals, not the FUD. We are winners, ladies and gentlemen. We're not the victim. So we get all the information from a news and charting perspective like we have tonight, and we try to figure out exactly what is going on. So I appreciate each and every one of you for your added commentary. I appreciate each and every one of you for the support so that I can get the word out there. And I thank everybody for hitting that like button so YouTube would recommend this live and allow more people to reach this. So with that, I suppose if you watched until the end, and I'll wait just a couple seconds, but type in hashtag be better, do better in the comments if you made it until the end of the live. Thank you all so much. And with that, I bid you a farewell. It's been a fantastic evening. Fantastic evening. I like what I seen. I like what I seen.